Okay, so a quick review, family, of what we talked about on Tuesday. We talked about growth and decay. So when you're looking at growth, you're looking for your b value to be greater than 1. You're looking for words like increase and grows. And then remember that the operation inside the parentheses is going to be addition. You're going to add. For exponential decay, we're looking for our b value to be between 0 and 1. So that's going to be words like decrease, or your function is going to decay. And then that means that you'll be looking for the word subtract or you're going to be actually using the operation subtraction. So quick recap again. I know that we did this, but I want to make sure you're good. Talked about our new formula here. So our new formula is pretty much the same thing. We just got a few extra letters in there. Your R is your percentage. Don't forget that you must write your percentage as a decimal. So if you plug in your percentage just as it is, it's definitely going to be wrong. So make sure you plug it in as a decimal. Your X is now a T, but the T just stands for time. Be careful when you're doing your time. For example, in this question, we had 2008, but we need to figure out how many years that was after 1971. So we subtracted, that gave us 37. So we plugged in 37, gave us our answer. All right. So we did one example in class, but now I want to look at some more examples with you. So I'm going to work this one just to keep us going, and then you guys are going to try example 3 on your own. So let's highlight some important information here. It says that the population of Johnson City in 1995 was 25,000 people. I'm going to highlight that because you should be realizing they're immediately telling you what your starting population was. So what they're really saying is that A equals 25,000. Okay. It then says that the population has grown. That's telling us literally that this is growth. We're growing, right? And what rate are we growing at? We're growing at a rate of 3.2%. Okay. So we've got a couple of different things here. We know that we're going to be adding. That's our operation on the inside. Well, what are we adding? Well, now we've got our new R value. Our percentage is 3.2. So 3.2 as a decimal. Let's talk about what that is. 3.2 as a decimal. We need to take the decimal point and move it 2 places. So that now gives us a 0 right here, right here. So our decimal is 0.032. If you don't want to write the first 0, that's fine. If you just want to write 0.032, that's fine. But be very careful that we write down that correct R value. So what's our equation? Our equation here is going to start out as y equals our starting amount. We talked about our starting amount. Our starting amount was the 25,000 people. So 25,000, open parentheses. And then remember, the 1 is always there. It's going to be always a 1. And then we talked about it's growing. So if it's growing, that means we have to add, and we're going to add the R value. So 0.032. Then we can close the parentheses and we raise it to the time. That's going to be our T. We don't know what that T is yet, but we know that's our time. Okay? So there's our equation. Now we can move on to the actual application of the problem. And we can say, well, let's actually predict what the population of Johnson City is going to be in the year 2020. So remember, we are not just going to plug 2020 in. No. We can't just plug 2020 in. We've got to figure out how many years it has been in 2020. So, well, when did we start? We started in 1995. So, like many of you guys did on Tuesday, we're going to take that 2020 and we're going to subtract out the 1995. Okay, so if we do that, we're left with, that's 25 years. So that's the number that we're going to plug in for t. So let's write it out first before we plug this in our calculators. Y equals 25,000, open parentheses, 1 plus 0.032. all raised to, this is where it comes in, all raised to the 25th power. I'll write that in different colors so y'all can see it. All raised to the 25th power. So let's grab our calculators. I'm going to pull mine out here. Here's my calculator. All right. And you type it, family, exactly the same way that it's written. So you're going to type it exactly as you see it. Don't do it any differently. So 25,000. Didn't type it incorrectly. 25,000. All right. Open parentheses. 1 plus. So you should be doing this with me. This isn't a show. You're not just watching, you're doing. So 1 plus 0.032, close the parentheses, and then we're going to click this raised key right here, the raised key. So raised to what? Raised to the 25th power, and then hit enter. So here we are. Our answer is, in this case, can't pull up both screens. I'm going to have to read it out first. 54,945. Now notice it's 0.53 yada yada, but those are people. We can't have 0.5 of a person. So really our answer is 54,945. 54,945 people. That is the population of Johnson City. All right, so give it a try. Try this next one right here, example 3. Work that one with your neighbors and see if you're able to figure it out together. Keep up the good work.